Are joint pains preventing you from enjoying life? Does every movement come with an unwelcome heaviness? Don't rush to grab the pills. Nature has already provided us with powerful remedies. If every morning, as soon as you open your eyes, you remember to get up carefully because your legs don't cooperate, if each step feels slow and cautious, turning into a real challenge, then I have some very good news for you. Research shows that the right plant-based proteins can not only nourish the body, but also reduce inflammation, restoring flexibility to the joints. Today, we will explore 3 proven plant-based protein sources. For each one, we'll explain why it works, how to use it properly, and what to pay attention to. Stick around until the end for a practical daily plan. By familiarizing yourself with these 3 products, you can alleviate pain, improve joint mobility, and feel much freer without unnecessary effort or health risks. Are you ready to discover our first ally in the fight against inflammation? Let's start with a small but mighty grain. When it comes to protein, most people immediately think of meat or eggs. But did you know? Lentils are one of the best plant-based sources of protein, and they're much gentler on your joints and overall health. Lentil protein contains amino acids that are essential for tissue repair, especially for cartilage, which is often the first to suffer from arthritis. These amino acids act like tiny building blocks, helping to strengthen and protect the joints from the inside out. It may seem impossible to restore your joints without meat, but studies have already shown that regular consumption of plant-based protein reduces inflammation just as effectively as traditional sources of animal protein. And here's another advantage. Lentils contain virtually no saturated fats, which often exacerbate inflammation. This means you're nourishing your joints with only what truly helps them recover. And yes, lentils have another important advantage. They are high in iron and zinc. These minerals play a crucial role in the immune system and directly help control inflammatory processes. And what is arthritis? That's right, it's inflammation. The iron in lentils helps oxygenate the blood. Well-oxygenated tissues recover faster, reducing pain and swelling in the joints. That's why anemia often worsens arthritis. But by incorporating lentils into your diet, you can mitigate that risk. By the way, zinc plays a crucial role in healing damaged tissues and stimulates the production of collagen, which is essential for joint health. Without adequate levels of zinc, the recovery process can slow down significantly. It might seem like you'd need to eat mountains of lentils to see any benefits. But in reality, just 1 serving a day, about half a cup of cooked lentils, is enough. This way, your body gets the support it needs without any unnecessary strain. How to cook lentils for maximum benefits. Cooking lentils properly is not just about flavor, it's also about health. To preserve their beneficial properties, it's important to cook lentils without soaking them for too long and to avoid overcooking, as this can result in the loss of essential vitamins and minerals. The best method? Simply rinse the lentils in cold water, cover them with fresh water in a 1:2 ratio, and simmer on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes. Avoid adding salt at the beginning. Add it at the end to maintain the lentils' delicate texture. Want to enhance the anti-inflammatory effect? Add a bit of turmeric and bay leaf to your cooking water. Turmeric is a powerful natural antioxidant, and bay leaf aids digestion. And here's a little secret. To make your lentils especially fragrant, lightly toast them in a dry skillet for about 2 to 3 minutes before cooking. This will unlock their nutty flavor and boost their nutritional benefits. How not to cook lentils. The first mistake is soaking lentils for too long. Many people think that, like beans, They need to be soaked in water for hours. But the truth is that excessive soaking leaches out beneficial nutrients and makes lentils less valuable for joint health. The second mistake is overcooking. If lentils turn to mush, important amino acids and minerals are lost. It's best for the lentils to remain soft while still retaining a slight firmness. The third mistake is adding acidic ingredients, like tomatoes or vinegar, at the beginning of cooking. Acid slows down the cooking process and seals the outer layer of the lentils, making them tough and hard to digest. And finally, one of the mistakes is forgetting about spices. Turmeric, black pepper, and thyme not only add flavor, but also significantly enhance the anti-inflammatory properties of the dish. Without them, lentils lose half of their potential. If you were thinking about heading to the store to buy lentils, hold on. Let me tell you about the golden grain. Quinoa is often referred to as the golden grain of the Incas, and for good reason. It's one of the few plant-based foods that contains all 9 essential amino acids. This means quinoa is a complete protein, just like meat and fish. And yes, quinoa is especially important for people with arthritis. Its protein supports the regeneration of cartilage, and quinoa does this gently, without placing a heavy burden on the kidneys like animal protein can. In addition to being rich in protein, quinoa is high in magnesium, a mineral that helps relax muscles and relieve spasms around inflamed joints. The less tension in the tissues, the easier and more fluid the movement. And here's another nice detail. Quinoa contains fiber, which helps maintain a healthy gut microbiome. Modern research shows that gut health is directly linked to inflammation levels in the body. But you know, quinoa is not just about protein. Those tiny seeds are packed with a real army of antioxidants that help combat aging in your joints and tissues. Antioxidants neutralize free radicals, molecules that damage cells and trigger inflammatory processes. The more antioxidants you include in your diet, the slower your joints will wear down. Quercetin and camphorol, 2 powerful antioxidants found in quinoa, deserve special attention. They actively reduce inflammation and support joint health at the cellular level. You might think that you need to eat kilograms of quinoa to feel the benefits. But that's not the case. Even 100 to 150 grams of cooked quinoa a day can provide your body with the necessary support and slow down harmful processes. How to cook quinoa deliciously. Cooking this grain is incredibly simple. In fact, its neutral flavor makes quinoa the perfect base for a variety of dishes, from hearty salads to nutritious breakfasts. One of the best ways to incorporate quinoa is in a warm vegetable salad. Just combine cooked quinoa with roasted zucchini, carrots, and broccoli, drizzle with olive oil, and you'll have a bowl full of goodness. Quinoa is also perfect for breakfast. Cook it in coconut milk, add some cinnamon, apples, and a handful of nuts, and you'll have a delicious porridge that will fuel your joints for the entire day. It might seem like quinoa requires complicated recipes, but it's actually quite simple. Cook a large batch once and store it in the fridge. Then just add it to your meals. Quick, convenient, and nutritious. But the most important thing is to avoid making any major mistakes. The first mistake is not rinsing quinoa before cooking. On the surface of the grains, there's a natural coating called saponins, which can give it a bitter taste. To avoid this unpleasant flavor, always rinse quinoa thoroughly in cold water. The second mistake is cooking quinoa in too much water. As a result, the quinoa becomes watery and loses its fluffy texture. The ideal ratio is 1 part quinoa to 2 parts water. The third mistake is overcooking. If quinoa is cooked for more than 15 minutes, the grains can burst and lose all their nutritional value. It's better to slightly undercook it and let the quinoa finish cooking with the lid on. And finally, the lack of spices and dressings. Without olive oil, lemon juice, or fresh herbs, quinoa can taste bland. It's those aromatic additions that really bring out its benefits. But coming up is the true protein king that your aching joints have been waiting for. Meet chickpeas. Chickpeas are not just an ingredient for hummus. These little golden gems hold amazing power. Rich in plant-based protein, chickpeas help repair tissues and maintain joint strength. But that's not all. Chickpeas are also champions in fiber content. And fiber helps reduce inflammation in the body by regulating immune processes and protecting joints from damage. Moreover, chickpeas keep you full for a long time, helping to manage weight. Extra pounds put additional strain on the knees, hips, and spine, where inflammation is often felt the most. It might seem like you need to eat chickpeas by the kilogram for them to be beneficial. But that's not the case. Even just 1 cup of cooked chickpeas a day provides your body with everything it needs to support joint health and is incredibly delicious. And yes, nuts are not just about protein and fiber. They are also rich in a very important mineral for your joints, magnesium, which helps reduce inflammation and relax tense muscles around the joints. Magnesium works quietly but effectively. It lowers the levels of inflammatory cytokines in the body, helping the joints calm down and start the healing process. The more magnesium you include in your diet, the less stiffness and pain you'll experience. But that's not all. Chickpeas are also packed with powerful antioxidants like flavonoids and carotenoids. They protect joint cells from damage by neutralizing harmful free radicals. It may seem like it takes years to feel the effects. However, studies show that positive changes can be noticed in just 1 week of regular chickpea consumption. How easy and delicious is it to cook chickpeas at home? Cooking chickpeas is simpler than it seems. All you need to do is soak them overnight in cold water. This will soften the beans and make them easier to digest while preserving all their nutritional benefits. After soaking, simply drain the water, cover the chickpeas with fresh water, and simmer them on low heat for 45 to 60 minutes. Avoid adding salt at the beginning. This way, the chickpeas will be soft and tender, making them perfect for salads, soups, and snacks. Want to speed up the process? Use a pressure cooker or multi-cooker. Chickpeas will be ready in 20-30 minutes while retaining maximum nutrients. It's a great solution when you're really short on time. And the best part is, chickpeas are incredibly versatile. Make hummus with olive oil and garlic. Add them to vegetable stews, or simply serve them warm with a splash of lemon and cumin. There are so many options that you'll never get bored. But be careful and avoid these mistakes when cooking chickpeas. The first mistake is forgetting to soak the chickpeas. Without soaking, the grains remain tough, cook unevenly, and are harder to digest. This means less benefit for your joints and more strain on your digestive system. The second mistake is adding too much salt at the beginning of the cooking process. Salt toughens the chickpea skins and prevents them from softening evenly. You should only add salt at the very end of cooking for the best texture and flavor. The third mistake is overcooking. Yes, chickpeas should be soft, but not mushy. Overcooked chickpeas lose their texture, flavor, and some of their nutritional benefits. And finally, the fourth mistake is relying solely on canned chickpeas. Sure, it's quick, but often canned chickpeas contain extra salt and preservatives. It's better to spend a little time cooking chickpeas at home. It's healthier and tastier.